Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is GBay99. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Today, we're back with another video where today we have a Q&A video. Now, those of you who don't know this, YouTubers typically like to do Q&A videos when they're all out of ideas for actual videos. That is not what's happening here. I don't really like to... I've been trying my absolute hardest not to pump out Q&A videos during these past 30 days of GBay. We're about 25 videos in now, and almost every single one of them have been some sort of gameplay or discussion video, so I've been trying my hardest not to cop out with update videos or Q&A videos or whatnot. This is the first time we're doing something like that, I believe. But with that being said, I am starting to get really tired here towards the end of the 30 days. Between streaming like 5 days a week and the daily uploads, I'm just getting exhausted. So we're going to try and take it easy today with the Q&A video. You guys asked some pretty good questions over on Twitter, so I'm going to try and give you some pretty good answers. Let's go ahead and jump into these. First question, have you ever played any other MOBAs besides League, and what do you think makes League stand out? Okay, so this kind of depends on your definition of a MOBA. Right now, you guys are watching some Battle Right gameplay, which I really like this game. This game is kind of a MOBA. It's like a MOBA mixed with World of Warcraft arena-style PvP, which is a little bit of a hybrid that you probably didn't think about. You're probably not considering Battle Right a MOBA when you're asking this question. If you're talking about MOBAs like Dota, Smite, Dawngate, and all those, I would say that I've tried to play a lot of them in the past. I've tried to play Han, I've tried to play Dota, I tried to play a lot of them specifically in the early days of League of Legends, but I never really got attached to any of them. For the most part, I think turn ratios was the thing that really set me off. League of Legends just feels so much more crisp with its gameplay, and I already spent so much time in League of Legends, it didn't really make sense for me to switch to a less popular game after a certain point. I think that might be the thing that really made League stand out back in the early days. The thing that really makes it such a popular game now is just that it was the first non-Dota game that was, or non-Dota style game, I should say, the first non-Dota style game that came out back when a lot of MOBAs were starting to blow up. And when I say non-Dota style game, I mean it was the first game that was a MOBA that didn't have turn ratios, as is my understanding. Han came before it. There were a couple of projects that came before it, but it was the first one that got rid of turn ratios, had really crisp and streamlined gameplay. And I think that's why it started to blow up and really turned it into the massive esport it is today. Question number 2, why don't I stream on YouTube where my fan base would all be on one platform? That's a pretty good question. I'm not too sure if I already mentioned this in a previous video or if I'm even allowed to say it, but a while ago, back when we went to the first Creator Lab, when all the League of Legends YouTubers were rounded up to go to the first Creator Lab in Los Angeles, there was an instance when they demoed the YouTube gaming platform to us. They showed it to us before it was shown to the public, I believe, and they showed us all the features, how it would work, how you would stream on it. They showed us all the cool stuff with it, and at the end, they had a little bit of a Q&A panel where we could ask questions and give feedback and criticism, and the feedback and criticism we gave was, there was a lot of it. There was a lot of features that Twitch had, basic features like subscriptions and donations and stuff that Twitch really thrived on. That's why a lot of people stream on Twitch. Like, fun fact, did you guys know a lot of Twitch streams that have like 1,000 viewers can make more money in a month than my YouTube channel does, even though they have 1,000 viewers and I have 400,000 plus on my YouTube channel. Because of the way that donations and the Twitch subscription model worked and everything, that just made that site so good to stream on and such a good way to support yourself. With most of us there already being people that streamed on Twitch in the first place, why would we ever want to switch over to the new YouTube platform? And they never implemented any of our suggestions or ideas by the time the thing launched. I think they implemented some sponsor or subscription thing that's kind of similar to Twitch subs and everything, but it's not quite the same, and it doesn't feel like they really quite understand why Twitch got big. I really like the community over on Twitch, and even if I don't get that many viewers, it's a really fun experience to stream there, which isn't something that a lot of people do. Some people have been switching over to the YouTube gaming platform, but I don't think I'll ever really be doing that. You guys can follow my Twitch stream in the description down below if you ever want to come over and watch me stream. Question 3, if you could change 3 things about League, what would they be and why? Okay, so if I could change 3 things about League, it would probably be stuff that's mostly involved in the preseason, because that's what my mind is thinking about right now with preseason right around the corner. I would remove the plants. I would revert the removal of the smite buffs. I would want to keep the smite buffs. And then the third change would probably be something like, I would give a small buff to Dorn's items, because as a top laner in particular, it's kind of frustrating when I'm playing against a Singed or something that feeds me an early kill, and then it's kind of difficult to punish them. Maybe this is just because I play champions that are weak in the early game, but sometimes when people make mistakes, it feels like you're not able to punish them quite enough, and I feel like being able to back and buy a Dorn's item would allow you to have that lane dominance where you dominate your lane opponent a little bit harder, and it would also add a little bit of a dynamic of, do you want to go for the early Dorn's items to dominate your lane, or do you want to just start building towards your late game stuff? That last one was a random thought that probably just has a lot to do with me playing against a lot of Singed players lately, and the other two had to do with the preseason changes, and that's something maybe you guys didn't expect me to say. I know that a lot of you guys have gripes with League of Legends right now. I go through the comments and see people complaining about this champion is OP, or that champion is bullshit, or this is dumb, this is dumb, this is dumb. A lot of people aren't actually that happy with League of Legends gameplay right now, but I gotta say, League is in a super good place for the most part. Like, as I said, the plants suck, and maybe there are going to be some bad changes in the preseason, but in terms of the overall balance, the game has never been more balanced than it is right now. And if you actually think that some of these champions are super overpowered with how much they can burst you or how they kill you, it's nothing compared to what we've had in the past. Riot has done a good job of balancing the game out compared to what it was before, and I don't actually have that much that I want to complain about. I think the game is still really fun, and there's a lot of good stuff out there. What is it about RuneScape that makes you still want to play it? Also, what are your levels? Well, these are my levels you can see on screen right now. I only have 199, being in ranged, of course. I don't play the game every single day. I have a lot of time that I have to spend on YouTube videos and stuff that prevents me from doing stuff that are small hobbies like this. For the most part, my entire day is taken up from YouTube videos and streaming, so I don't really get to do that much in RuneScape, but the reason that I keep on playing it is because you guys know this by now, right? That I'm a super nostalgic person that's always looking back on the past and trying to hold on to previous experiences. Like, to put this in perspective for any of you who are new to the YouTube channel, when I turned 4 years old, when it was March 23rd, the night of my birthday, March 23rd, my mother was tucking me into bed when I was 3, and she said, "Tomorrow morning you'll be 4 years old. You'll never be 3 again," at which point I burst into tears and started screaming, "I want to be 3, I want to be 3. That's the kind of person that I am. I really hang on to the past a lot, maybe to an unhealthy extent, but I'm happy, so I would kind of think not so. Anyway, RuneScape was a game that I was playing a lot as a kid, and it was something that I have a lot of fond memories from, and I get to relive that a lot when I go back and play the old school servers, so naturally it's something that every once in a while, whenever I have any free time, the little free time I have nowadays, I'll happily go back and replay it. How do you think your content is compared to 3 years ago? I think my content is slightly better than it was 3 years ago. I think I've gotten better at speaking. I think I've gotten more knowledgeable about recording and stuff, but I'm still really bad at editing. I'm not a fancy editor. I still use Sony Vegas and stuff, so there's a lot of stuff that I want to improve on, and I feel like I shouldn't be happy with where I am 4 years later. I've kind of prohibited my growth to some extent by choosing to be a League of Legends YouTuber rather than just a general gaming YouTuber, but for the most part, I mean, I'm happy with where I am, but I feel like I still want to shoot for the stars in terms of where we go in the next 3 years, and I got a lot of room for improvement still. Why don't you put other games on your channel? That's mostly because you guys aren't very interested in it. I mean, that sounds like I'm telling you what you want, which, as we learned from Blizzard, is not a good thing to do, but for the most part, you guys aren't really as interested in videos when I release content that isn't League of Legends. This is something I talked about in that League Memories video that I miss about the good old days of League, where people still kind of cared and were interested in that. I kind of miss when people would like to see a big personality go back and play a childhood game just to hear just to hear their opinions and everything, even though it's not about League of Legends gameplay and how to get better at League and all that. That's just something that doesn't really seem that popular anymore. If you guys ever wanted it, I would be very, very happy to give you more content like that. What are some unknown pieces of advice for climbing? I'm not too sure if this is something that's super unknown, but I feel like the best piece of advice I can give you for climbing is put at the forefront of your memory objectives rather than kills. You should still go for kills and see if you can kill your lane opponent and punish them in laning phase, but this is something I'm really bad at, but it's really how you win League of Legends, particularly in the current meta. Don't just transition your kills into more kills. Focus more on transitioning your kills into the first tower, into dragons, into Rift Heralds, Barons, more dragons, more towers. Those are so much more important than just killing a lane opponent over and over and over. There have been so many games that I win my lane and my lane opponent goes 0-5 or whatever, but they still end up winning the game because I'm too focused on kills rather than map objectives. Get your kills, but make sure you're doing something with them more so than just getting more kills. What is your best memory in life? Oh boy, my best memory, I remember it like it was yesterday, March 24th, 2009. I woke up at 6 o'clock a.m., 6 o'clock sharp. I got on my computer, I got 99 range in RuneScape, and then I went off to middle school. I was still going to middle school at the time, wasn't I? I remember very vividly walking to the bus and feeling the cool morning breeze. It was springtime. I remember feeling how perfect it was and just having a spring in my step that this thing that I focused on for so long, so many years, I finally was able to achieve it. This goal that I never thought I would achieve. I felt like I could conquer the world. I think that's one of the reasons that I'm always thinking about RuneScape and early days of League of Legends in the spring and fall. Those seasons just make me so nostalgic because I have so many good memories from both of those games that just happen to coincide with those seasons. And our final question here, is YouTube what you want to actually do with your life? That's a kind of weird way to phrase that question. I assume you're asking, is YouTube something I want to always do, or is it something that I want to eventually move on to something else? I kind of thought about that a lot in the past, obviously, but especially recently I've been thinking if I want to do this, how long I want to do this, and I think I never really want to quit. Like maybe there are instances in the future where I'll want to move on to something else or try and move on and get more involved in something beyond just uploading videos daily. Like I feel like I'm going to want more goals in my life than just hitting my daily upload schedule. But I don't think I ever really want to quit YouTube. I want to keep on making videos as long as you guys want to keep on watching, even if it is just, even if it's just once a week. It's something fun. I think I'll always want to do something with YouTube, but I don't know. I'll keep on doing this as long as I have fun. Anyway, on that note, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's video. We will hopefully be back with a much more regular League of Legends gameplay video tomorrow. Until then, though, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue and have a wonderful day.